That's not all. If that were all, I would be doing jumping jacks right now. I was hacked on Christmas Eve. My Instagram was hacked where I put all my beautiful pictures. And it was hacked by evil, and I want to say Russian. And if you're out there and you're Russian and you feel singled out, good, because your dirty, filthy people hacked me. I believe it was you or something, one of the Eastern Bloc countries. One of you guys. One of the countries that got away, but you're still getting bullied by Russia, feels the need to come after me. And it's just enough. They hacked me Christmas Eve, and then I tried to call anybody I knew who knew technology, and guess what, Shannon? They don't want to be bothered on Christmas Eve. They're trying to spend time with their families, and the hacker knew this. The godless hacker knew this. I took my mother to Christmas Eve Mass, and then we had a nice dinner at Dominic's, even though the waiter was a little out of his mind. I should have known that was a bad sign. I go, hey, he introduced himself, and he goes, hey, Dan. He goes, his name is Dan. He goes, hey, anything you need. I'm a people person. But you know what? I had to cut a lot of people off this year. And then he goes and gets us drinks. He would be like that. He's like, I'm a people person. Couldn't be an accountant. But a lot of people try to take advantage, and I cut those people off.
No.
I'm like, all right. Christmas Eve, trying to spend it with my mom. Anything? So I go, Danny, can we get some more napkins? He doesn't acknowledge me. He's talking to Patricia or something else. And then he takes the napkins and puts them on the table. And he goes, I heard you. I'm always aware of what's going on. It's like the no-look pass of waiting tables. So I listen to that guy. And then he goes, okay, we get the check and I pay with cash, you know. And because who knows what's going on with my accounts. My Instagram got hacked. I go to pay. I pay with $100 bill. Shannon, are you guys moist
Yes,
in there?
both of us.
Okay, I paid with $100 bill, and he goes. Look, there's nobody in the place. He goes, it's the line backed up at the bar. What do you want back? Otherwise, I can wait. Like it's going to be like it's going to be 5 minutes. I go, just give me $35 back, and he goes, already had it in my hand. Already had it in my hand. 35. What do you think? I go, what do I think? I think it's a Christmas miracle. And I grab my mom's hand. A Christmas miracle. And so when I got home, that's when I knew I clicked on a fishing. People did fishing bait. Fishing. People were fishing for my Instagram passwords. And they tricked me. And I'm not that easy to get tricked. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I don't fall into things.
We go through your junk email all the time.
I go through my junk email all the time, and there's a lot of good stuff in there with floodlights and other things that aren't necessarily applicable to me, but are great products. And we try to give them shout outs here. But this one, there was a problem with my account. I logged on, and then the guy immediately was like, you've been hacked. And then he hit me up on WhatsApp, and he was threatening me. He said, I have your account, give me money, and you can have it back. And then later that night at 5 a.m, he texted me, can I get some cooperation? And it's like, that guy was acting like I was the problem. He was right, and I wasn't cooperating with him. And that's what hurts the most, Shannon, when a hacker turns into a victim. He's making himself the victim. And then he's blaming me for not cooperating with him. He really turned the tables.
He must be a millennial.
He must be in a loveless marriage. That withstanding, we got a wonderful guest today, guys. And I hope that he came in, and he's always such a pleasant guy. And I see him around the Gas Digital Studios. He's always popping, always full of energy. He's a fantastic comic. And I'm happy to have him on the show. Robbie Bernstein is here. Robbie.
Very sweet introduction.
Thank you for coming, man.
I'm sorry your Christmas was so bad.
Christmas was ruined. And I'm not blaming Judaism, but all the suspects are out there. Judaism, all you Kwanzas out there. And then, of course, the atheists who are always seem to be bitter and come around during Christmas, but maybe not really.
Yeah, a Christmas observer wouldn't have the time for this kind of an operation.
No.
He would have been with his family.
Right. And this person wasn't with their family. So,
Probably don't even have a family. That might be your first clue.
Yeah. He doesn't have a family. What do
Hates
people
Christ, doesn't have a family.
Right. You know, it's interesting, Robbie. I don't know if you make it to church with a name like Bernstein. I was at church with my mother Christmas Eve, the church where I grew up in Florida. I was there when I was 10 holding my mother's hand, and 40 years later we're in the same spot holding there's something very touching about that. Even for those of you who don't believe in God, are going to spend eternity in hell, you have to admit there's something very beautiful about that. And just from a memory standpoint, nostalgia, which is a word that we use here sometimes, Shannon, could be the word of the day.
You're fulfilled by standing in the same spot with your mom once a year.
40 years later, because when I was 10, now I'm 49 and I'm standing with my mother at the same spot. Isn't that something? There's something very moving about that, Robbie, or is that just me?
I think it's like an OCD thing where it feels good that every year on the same day you stand in the same spot with your mom. And you're like, this is nice. I feel whole because I always do this at the same time. It's the ritual.
It is a ritual, and there's something to be said for that. And for those of you out there, it's like, well, we're creating our own rituals. It's like, no, you're not. Rituals take time over years. You're not creating your own rituals in 1 year. You're delusional, and you're probably a hacker.
What kind of food do they have at church? Like when I was a synagogue guy, there was a lot of food going on. There was scotch, there was food. It was a good time.
Is there a lot of food at synagogue?
There was a lot of food. I
know there's a lot of food. I had my first Seder last year.
Oh, a lot of food at the Seder.
Couple of the tribe invited me over, and there's a little story behind every meal. I just wanted to eat it, but they had to tell a little story behind every meal. I go to eat it, they're like, wait, this is about the desert. Oh, brace yourself for this story about searching for stuff. And then it's like, all right, can we eat the little bit of fish on a cracker?
Seder's the worst. You're an asshole of a Jew if you're inviting a non-Jew to a Seder. Because it's not fun.
I did want to experience it, though.
Why?
I like the storytelling. Because I like the storytelling. I like tradition.
Okay.
I like the tradition.
But it's not a good story. Like, I could get behind a good story.
Not a good story?
What, the Passover story?
Yeah. The Passover's pretty interesting.
All right,
the
what do you like?
king was going to kill everybody. I mean, there's everything in that. There's love. There's romance. There's murder. He was going to kill everybody. Herod, I believe his name was.
That's a totally different king. But that's okay.
Was it Herod?
Nah, Herod came way later. That was the guy who killed the Jews on Masada, I think.
Wow.
That's like post-temples.
Masada.
But that's okay. You were on board with a different king.
Masada like hummus?
That's where they invented
I get
hummus.
mixed up with the food and the names of the kings.
I would love to hear your version of the Passover story. I bet that one would be a good story.
Blood on the doors. The king was going to kill all the firstborn children.
And so they just threw their tampons up.
I don't know if they had them. They threw the tampons up.
You can recognize Jewish blood versus Egyptian blood in vaginas. It's very recognizable.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that come from a medical place?
Yes.
Okay.
I've done my research on vagina blood.
Just in your personal life?
No, it's mostly from I don't see that many vaginas on a day-to-day basis to establish these kind of things. That took real lab research.
Day-to-day vagina is, I think, a segment that we should have here on the show. Day-to-day vagina. How's your day-to-day vagina?
Well, I feel like that would be indicative of your entire mood. Wait, is that a bad word?
Indicative. Indicative is a word that we could look up, Shannon, because our fans are not that bright. They could never hack anybody. I know it was none of our fans.
Well, the second part of the sentence was going to be about vagina, so they can follow that part.
Yes.
And what I was getting at is if you're getting a lot of vagina, you're probably in a really good mood.
Yeah.
They correlate, right? So once you're reporting on the vagina, you don't even have to report on much. Like, you can be homeless, but if you're getting new vagina every day, you're probably in a good mood.
Okay, what you're saying is really good, Robbie, but a lot of our fans get stopped on words. Correlate means related to. They get stopped sometimes. So you probably had them up to, you said correlate, and they were like spinning in their chair. Like, what is this? Who is this guy?
I'll just simplify vagina good. That's all I was trying to say.
Vagina good. Vagina good. And day-to-day vagina.
Yeah, and Instagram hacking bad.
Instagram hacking is very bad.
So
and if you do that, I mean, I don't know what's going on in your own life. And then you WhatsApp somebody to see how they're doing, and then you're like, oh, give me some money, and this can all get solved.
Have you tried calling Eric? He murdered a lot of people in Iraq. He might be willing to take this on.
Really?
Yeah, you don't remember Eric? He was the Rambo of Iraq. Worked here for a while.
Oh, yeah, I know Eric.
Yeah, dude, that guy.
Did he murdered people?
Do you know how many kills that guy's got? Dude, he'll get on this.
I thought there was something in his eyes.
Oh, he'll get on this for you.
Eric killed a lot of people.
You need this guy to respond to that guy.
Eric used to do my Instagram.
Yeah, you want to be, hey man, you want to talk about cooperation, and then I'll make you cooperate.
I just don't know what this is. Now I have to go through a heap of paperwork. I said it before. It's like getting citizenship in this country. going through notarization. I have to notarize this. And now no one, what's the current state? That fans are probably wondering what's currently going on. No one can find my account now. I don't know if Facebook took it down. I don't know if the hacker has it and is now putting knives in my pictures just to show me that they're serious. Because the last one I put up, Shannon, was me as a little boy.
Aww.
And they probably took that picture hostage. Guys, thank you for listening to Mike Vecchione Investigates. And if you go to gasdigitalnetwork.com and use promo code MBI, you will get 1 week free. That's gasdigitalnetwork.com, promo code MBI, you will get 1 week free. Thank you again for listening to Mike Vecchione Investigates on the Gas Digital Network.